What's up, Greg?
So,
What's it like working with Blake? I guess what is it kind of like riding a bike, or are you feeling like fitting back into roles and kind of everybody's fitting in? What's the upside of that?
I mean, for me, it's not really different, but it's a new face, so it's exciting for everybody. I think everyone's adapted pretty well. He just brings a lot of energy, and we kind of know what to expect from him when we go out on the field. Make sure we finish plays, give effort, and then he always says if you give effort, he can fix everything else, but you got to play hard. It starts there.
As far as the depth at linebacker, you guys are able to be a lot more versatile, it looks like already. Just
Right.
kind of speak to that and maybe how that helps the entire defense, not just the second unit.
Yes, we have a lot of interchangeable guys that can go out there and play. I really have confidence in everybody in the room to go out there and do their job. So being able to have multiple guys that can do multiple things is really good for us as a room. And it creates really problems for the defense because, I mean, we're rotating and we're fresh. We'd be able to play faster and things like that.
Can you just speak to the intensity out there? I mean, I know it's fall camp and it's nothing new, but it just seems like what the coaches are shouting and yelling and everything, it's going to another level.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The intensity's high right now, which is good for us. Being able to adapt to our coaches and learn how they want things and how they yell and stuff like that is good, especially early in fall camp. So, I mean, we're just trying to, they bring energy, so we're just trying to match that energy with how we go out there and play.
On that vein, was today a bit more of a push-through day? It seemed like everybody was feeling it.
Yeah, yesterday we had a day off. So usually when you have a day off, then come back the next day, so guys feel it a little bit more than usual. So yeah, today was kind of, guys had to push through. People got a lot of guys were tired, yeah.
Kind of what we talked about, the versatility. How much are you all able to help with the front? Obviously, a lot of new pieces there, kind of figuring it out still. How much are you able to kind of fill and help?
Oh, for sure. Coach Baker, he definitely uses different fronts and different packages to get more linebackers on the field. He always says that LBs are kind of the strength, one of the strengths of our team. So the more of us on the field, the better, he says. So we have a lot of different packages where he puts different guys in different spots to make it easier on the front.
Tell me what you're seeing in the running backs. Obviously, we saw John, and it looked like he had a huge burst, right? Like, I mean, one to come back and be healthy, but again, to have that kind of speed and quickness right out of the gate.
It's great to have John back. He's a familiar face, so him being in the running back room, both of those guys, him, Josh, Caleb now, he's been here, so they have a lot of versatility, just like the LB room, so they can rotate and things like that. So those guys coming in fresh, that makes it harder for defenses. Like as a linebacker, you see a new back almost every drive. That's pretty hard to deal with.
And then just the offensive line. Can you tell how veteran they are? Do you really sense their presence?
Yeah, of course. They're a veteran group, smart group. Those guys are seeing a lot. Obviously, Will and Emery started as freshmen, so those guys have played a lot of football. And then on the inside, 2 veteran guards, and then DJ Chester, he's very mature for his age, so that whole group is basically a veteran group.
What do you like about this team so far?
I think this team is close, very together. We stay together as one when things not going well. If guys having a bad practice, we try to lift each other up, and I think we've learned how to overcome adversity. Like just play through bad things. When bad things happen, just next snap, next play, things like that.
There's been a lot of chatter about the defensive line and what they will be this year. Do you think those guys hear any of that? Do you think they have a chip on their shoulder to prove people wrong?
I'm not for sure if those guys really hear that in the media and things like that, but I just know those guys come to work every day, and Coach Bo Davis he pushes them to be great. So I got the utmost confidence in all those guys doing their job.
Greg, you're a veteran guy on this team now, like a team leader. What guys have you seen on defense, some younger guys that have really kind of impressed you and you could see having a really great future with the program?
The young guys in the secondary have flashed pretty well. Those guys are coming to work every day. Guys like Ashton Stamps, P.J. Woodland, just younger guys. Jordan Allen has really flashed. That's a guy that I thought has really gotten better and things like that. So I'm just excited to see how those guys grow throughout the year. And like I said, I have the utmost confidence in all of them.
It looks like the offense is a little different, obviously, right? This year we're seeing a lot more screens right away and a lot more
Correct.
pulling guard and stuff.
Yes.
For a defense, obviously they're attacking you now. I guess how much of that is understanding what they're trying to do to you, and how different does this offense look?
It's a lot different than it was in past years with Jaden, obviously. So it's really good that we're seeing different looks. Like you said, more pullers, more stretch zone plays, things like that. That's really good for us because that's basically what we'll see throughout the season. Every team not going to have a Jaden Daniels. So, I mean, being able to fit runs properly and things like that is really good for us to learn early in fall camp.
You guys are ranked 12th in the first poll. I know it doesn't.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Right.
Yeah,
I know it
okay.
doesn't necessarily matter to y'all, but
Yeah.
but do you think about staying in that top 12 this year? Does it feel different with the expanded playoffs?
I don't even really think guys are really focused on that right now, honestly. I didn't even know rankings came out. So, I mean, I just think guys are focused on getting better every day. And if we get better every day, that'll handle itself.
Yeah, we saw Brian call y'all up in that first practice.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he did it again today. Is he stressing the little things because he feels like this team can get there?
Yes, I believe so. Coach Kelly's trying to push us. He wants this team to be very player-driven. So he's trying to make sure we do that, and he wants the players to lead. So when he calls us up, he just gives little tips and things like that just for us to continue to grow and get better.
Today was a tough one out there.
It's kind of hot, a little bit.
Talk about when you get one of those. Greg said coming off a recovery day, they're usually always harder, but understand that you got to fight through it.
Days like today, like well, Coach Kelly tries to challenge us. So like, it's either you going to accept the challenge or you're not going to accept the challenge. So it's really like he wants to prepare us for how hard the games are going to be. He wants practice to be harder so the games could be easier. So this is one of them today.
I feel like the same thing could be said for the defensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like just challenging you guys to kind of rise to the occasion. A lot of new faces there. I
Right.
guess, how is that working for y'all, and what are you seeing early in camp on the line?
We got a lot of bodies. So like, guys that have transferred in, like Gio, you got Sean that's transferring in, you got Jay, you got a lot of guys that transferred in, and then you got guys that's been here, like me and Jalen Lee, the freshmen like Dom and Ahmad, so many guys now. So it's kind of like, it's hard to get used, well, not hard, I would say. It's just like getting used to having so many guys, trying to bring so many guys along, like just making sure like everybody can just be on the same accord. And I think every day we're getting better with that.
I guess that's kind of the challenge is that everybody's at a different level, right? Like a big monster like Dom's coming in, he's got to learn from day one. You got
Right.
guys from other schools that have been taught different things. So how
Right.
does that mesh, and how is Bo doing as far as getting you guys all kind of?
I mean, Bo is seeing like he's had so much experience everywhere he's been. He's been countless places. Like the film he shows us is from all over he's been. So like, just like trying to, he's always coached guys, built like have taller builds. He's coached shorter builds. Like he's coached so many guys that when it comes to like guys coming in like being so raw, he already knows like, okay, this is what that guy needs, and he's like catered to him. So like, it's a slow process, but it's a process. And like every day we get better. Like today was like big with our hands, and I feel like today we practiced slightly better with our hands did than the last practice. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying, just getting better and better every practice. Yes, sir. Yeah.
How do you feel now being the leader of the group? A lot has changed. A lot of guys have moved on, and suddenly you're kind of the guy out in front now.
I mean, what more could you ask for? Playing for LSU, getting a strap up every Saturday to play for LSU, like, this is what I've always wanted, and I finally got it, so, like, why not go all out for it? This is my last year. Why not go all out with everything I do? If it's just as simple as just doing a walkthrough, why not go all out in it? So I think I'm the challenge that's ahead of me. I feel like I'm accepting it great, but I know that I still have more to do, just like everyone else in the room has more to do. So when I push myself harder, I know it makes them want to go harder. So like just trying to just push myself every day, waking up every morning, making sure I push myself hard enough so these guys can push themselves even harder.
Getting a guy like Suggs, a lot of people wondering how would that translate, considering the school he came from to here. What are you seeing out of him?
I've seen him make plays against old offensive linemen that play in the SEC, so I have no doubt in my mind that he can go out there on Saturday night to play for us in Death Valley.
And when you're out there on the practice field, this is big-time college football, but listening to like Bo and Brad and what they're yelling and saying today, I mean, the intensity of what's going on out there, how would you describe it?
The intensity, I'm so used to it that I like. It's just like how can I listen to what the message is saying, and now like apply that to my game or whatever I did wrong. Like, cause it's like when they're yelling at you, it's not that they're yelling at you, they're yelling at the problem. It's kind of like not a F you or F that. You know what I mean? So in a sense of that. So I think I've just handled both intensities well. And I know when he's getting on them, I know when Bo's getting on Coach Brad is getting on the offensive line, I have to listen to make sure, you know what I'm saying, I can keep up with what they're doing.
What's it like going up against such a veteran offensive line that's been tagged as one of the best in the country heading into the season? Does you feel like that makes you all better as a unit on the defensive line?
I feel like from the jump, like I feel like now, like I tell the defensive line, like it's okay to, you know what I'm saying, we do lose reps. But I'm saying you got to think about it like this. If you go as hard as you can against the best offensive line in the country, the Saturday nights are going to be that much easier. So that's what, like, keeping a level head and like keep going. Like, you know, if you get knocked down, pop back up and run to the ball. Like, just trying to instill like that mindset. Like, you're not going to see anything better on a Saturday than what you do see out the week. So just trying to instill that in everybody too.
Are you noticing the differences, obviously, with the outside zone and pulling guards? And
Oh yeah, for sure. I told Miles today, like I ain't never seen nobody get down in the what was it? I think it was a stretch to like the left. I ain't never seen nobody cut out, like run out of there. Like, and I tell those guys, like when you get beat, you gotta understand, like it's a reason you got beat. So let's attack this reason. Let's get better. Let's go and practice. Let's work on it. Let's get better in team reps. And so in the game, it's just that much easier.
I know you understand that now, and you understand that in practice. Understanding that for a season, you're a guy that they're going to count on a lot. Like,
right.
Remember all those reps Makai played, all those reps. Christian Lockhart, I don't know if you ever heard that.
Right, yeah, former 18.
Right,
yeah.
They're going to need you all season long. Like, how much you talk about accepting the challenge? How much are you understanding that they're going to need you all year long, and it's a marathon, not a sprint?
Like I said, this is what I've always wanted. So like, it puts a smile on my face that you even said that. So like, it's like you can either run away from a challenge or you can face it head on. So like, just where I've came from. I've been here so long. I know the ins and outs. Like I know that this is what I have to do to get better, to get to the next level. So why not attack it full-heartedly every single day, like it's my last day, because I don't know when this game could be taken away from me. So I know that I have to go out there. I have to go out there and perform for them. But this is for me too. Like I need to go out there and make sure I'm crisp, so I can go out there on Saturday nights, and also so I can perform.
I think Coach Kelly at one point said, these guys are paying attention. They see we're going after guys in the portal, and they hear about the defensive line and questions, and they're getting motivated. Is that true in terms of?
I've always had a chip on my shoulder. So, I mean, I know how it is now. I know they're going to go get guys. I know that we need a defensive line in this offseason. So I let those guys know. I was like, God, like they're not probably going to tell you, but I'll tell you. They're bringing guys here to take our spots. So it's he threw me off. So like it's like what like forgot what I was saying, but what do you like? How do you want to like with the challenges? Like that's another challenge. How do you want to face that challenge? Do you want to run and like not go as hard as practice now that like we got guys here now, or do you want to go even harder? And I know that makes me want to go even harder. So because when they bring guys in, it always makes me want to just go even harder. Yeah.
Going based off of what you just said, having that kind of like scare tactic, they're going to bring guys in to take your spots. How have you seen that come through tenfold on the field and with guys getting better in their own game?
It's not necessarily like a scare tactic. It's the real. It's college football now. Like you have to realize like we're trying to win now. We're not trying to like last year's last year. Like this year's this year. So we want to win. We want to win. So I was like, with the effort that we put on film today at practice, we couldn't win. We cannot win with us. But the guys understood that in spring, have worked all summer. Now we're in fall camp, and it's like a progression every single day to get better at something. Just like focusing on the smallest, minute things, the defensive line can go such a far way. So like today was like he said, was a tough one. It was hot out there, but like you're going to get tested. These days is what we mostly need, because like what are you going to do when it gets tough? When we're in the fourth quarter of the game and we need you, what are you going to do? So. I really appreciate these guys getting up every morning, coming here, meeting. We getting in the meeting, we doing pre-practice, going through our practice, and like some of these guys have never been down south. So it's tough for them, but I really appreciate those guys for fighting through every time. We've never lost a defensive lineman at practice in fall camp. I can thank God, you know what I'm saying. So just keep pushing through. That's why I can just preach to them every single day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Kyron, just talk about how camp's going. Obviously, early on, right? But still a lot of talent in that wide receiver room. And it seems like everybody's kind of making sure they get their work when they need it.
Most def. Fall camp is going really good for everybody. Like each position group, everybody's looking to get better at little things, like the smallest details possible, like being on sides, off sides. It's just the little details. That's all. That's all we've been working on.
The one thing I've seen right away is you guys work the screen game a lot more than I've seen in the past. So how much is blocking downfield being emphasized for you guys?
Oh, it's going to be a big thing we focus on this year because we're trying to get the ball out fast to the quicker guys, make one man miss, get the ball in Aaron Anderson's hands, Zay. Just get the ball in those guys' hands, let them do what they do with the ball, because all we got to do is just block for them and just let them go to work, let them do what they do.
Yeah, how fun is it, I guess, being in this offense now with kind of the versatility that it's showing?
It's very fun because you got a lot of different guys that can do different things. So it's like every day, you're gonna have to do something better. You're gonna have to do little things better, do anything better to do better than what you did yesterday. So.
Just along those lines, the identity of the offense after losing a Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback, 2 first-round draft picks at wide receiver, can you be just as good offensively but different, or how do you see it?
The whole offense is different. This whole team is different. We have a new identity. We lost those guys, so we're gonna have to step up, make some plays. We're talented enough to where we can just pick up where we left off at.
Just you personally, how do you feel? Do you have to be the number one, or is it a collection of guys going out and catching passes? Or
I feel like it's a collection of guys. Every day we compete. Everybody's competing in that room. Everybody, like from freshmen to seniors to sophomores, it doesn't matter. We all competing, and we want to dominate every rep we get out there. So we take advantage of every rep we can.
Can you speak to the depth of that wide receiver room and maybe what you've seen just from maybe some guys that have stuck out, especially a guy like Jelani Watkins?
Yeah, we all of those younger guys, they all stepping up. Fall camp is supposed to be tough, so those guys are taking that challenge head on. And I salute all those young guys. They come in every day. They get extra work with film, study, and they do all the little things right. So the veterans, like we get on the younger guys because we're going to need them at one point. So.
Last year, this time, we saw right away that the secondary was going to be a concern. This year, it seems like they're giving you a little bit more pushback. I guess, how improved are you noticing their play?
They've done a very great job defensively. They changed everything. Coach Corey got those guys right. Like, it's the little details. It's so crazy what little things can change, and the way they move is everything is just different now. So they just giving me better reasons to come in, look at film, see what I have to do to get them off of that point, because they come with something new every single day. So we all have to step it up every single day.
Tell me about the Zachary guys in your room. Obviously, Trey Dez, we all saw him day one, and we're just like, he's going to be a problem, right? But Chris looks like he's going to be a problem, too.
Most def. Chris been doing an outstanding job. That's one guy I can say, he really does the little things right. And I'm going to keep overemphasizing the little things because all the details matter. So Chris been doing a lot of on and off the field great things. Come in early, first person there, last person to leave. He puts in a lot of work, so none of that goes unnoticed. So Trey Dez, young guy, high energy, loves the clown. He comes with it every single day with it on his mind, though. Freshman, everything a little fast for him right now, but once it slows down, I promise he's going to be straight.
It's funny. We always talk about the quarterbacks, but now, nobody's talked about the quarterbacks ever, to BK, to any of the players. Just what is it like having Nussmeier back there, I guess, and kind of understanding that he's taking his role seriously and we don't necessarily have to stress about it?
Oh, that's a great question because the quarterbacks, they come in every single day. They getting better at every single day. I watch those guys during drills. I'm with them during drills, catching with them. So everybody across the whole team is just working on the little details. You know what I'm saying? So Garrett comes in every single day. First person, it means he's there. He's there. All of them, all the quarterbacks, they all together. They all stay together. It's a great competition to see those guys come out every single day, compete at a high level, and do the things they do.
I just got a haircut.
Probably lost some sweat, huh?
I mean, I probably did. I just probably lost a lot of weight at that.
Good to go? All right. Yeah, we've been talking already about that. Today was a good one, kind of a push-through day for everybody. Been trying to see what you can do when the chips are down and tough. Was that
Oh, yeah, I
today's?
couldn't hear you. What did you
Was
say?
today kind of like a push-through day for you guys? It was a tough practice, it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, definitely coming off an off day or not a practice day. It's definitely, you know, one of those days you got to have a good mindset going into it. You know, they throw some kinks in the, you know, practice schedule to, you know, kind of throw us for a curveball a little bit. It's kind of, like I said, it's all about mindset and how you approach the day.
How are you guys approaching it? You know, as the 4 returning offensive linemen, everybody knows it's going to be a strength of this team. I guess just what is the mindset of, as far as you guys leading the way?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we got to lead the way, so we got to come with it, you know, every day. You know, bring the energy, bring the juice, you know, set the tone from the first play of practice to the last, just how we're going to do in the game. We're going to set the tone from the first play to the last play, so we can't, you know, just expect to start that whenever we do it, you know, in Las Vegas. That starts now, you know, whenever we go out and approach practice, so that it's just, you know, muscle memory whenever we get to Vegas.
With the changes to the offense, it looks like you guys are attacking more in the run game. As a guy on the end, what's it like to see these guards get out and, you know, move the way that they are with this new offense?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, like you said, it's a new offense. And, you know, we have a lot different players than we did last year, you know, but being able to, you know, be more diverse in the run game and showing different schemes, it's only going to help us. And we're going to be really good at all of them because, you know, we're going to spend a lot of time working on each and every one of them. So the biggest thing for us, you know, like I said, is just dominating up front and letting guys like Kyron, Chris, you know, Caleb, Josh, and the list goes on, just do what they do, and that's make plays.
You guys are a very veteran offensive line, obviously, and it might be some of you guys last year with the program. Some of the younger guys in the room that maybe won't get those first-team reps this year, how have you seen them kind of grow, and are you guys as veterans kind of helping them out a little bit to kind of set them up for success in the coming years?
Yeah, I mean, the talent's definitely there, and, you know, they will get reps this year. They're going to play. A lot of them will. And, you know, like I said, with the talent being there, you know, they all come in. They want to be great. You know, they ask us a lot of questions, you know, just because, you know, we've been in the game. We know what to expect. We know what it takes to go out there and win at a high level in the SEC. So, you know, guys like Tyree Adams, Bo Borderline, you know, all those guys, you know, they're going to play a big role in what we do this year, you know, and, you know, the future's very bright for them.
What's it like kind of listening to Brad Davis break in some of these freshmen on the field?
Familiar. But I mean, you know, just the intensity he brings, he tells us every day, he's not going to change the standard for anybody. And, you know, it's not going to change. Nobody feels bad for you. So, you know, it's what's required to, you know, be a part of the O-line here at LSU. It's hard work, you know. Obviously, it's hot, you know, I mean, no, everybody can see that, but it's what you do whenever it's hot. Can you go out there and, you know, block that out and, you know, go out there and do your job when you're tired, when you're hot, you know, when your body doesn't feel, you know, the best, can you go and get the job done?
So you've got memories of, hey, back up 5 yards, we walk to the line, like he was doing with that second team today a lot?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, you look over and, you know, you see him doing that and you're like, I mean, I've probably been a part of something like that at some point here, but, you know, it's part of it. You know, you got to come in ready to go. So, you know, those guys, you know, there's a lot of good players in that group that y'all saw today doing that. And, you know, the future, like I said, is bright for all of them.
How is DJ doing, being the new kid on the block, I guess?
You know, DJ's great. You know, like I was saying earlier over there, the DJ, you know, had a hole to fill with Charles Turner leaving, but Charles set such a good example of what it took to, you know, be a leader, and a great communicator and a good player here in the SEC. So I think that DJ being able to, see that, watch that, learn from him, ask questions from him on a day-to-day basis, put DJ so far ahead because Charles was such a good communicator. And, whenever you're out there in the SEC with 100,000 people in the stands, communication is the biggest thing, being able to get 5 guys on the same page, working together. And I think that that's one of the things Charles did the best. And, with DJ being able to watch that first-handedly, and learn from him, I think that's put him so far ahead of the curve. And, he's growing every day. Obviously, he doesn't have that many game reps, but, that's going to come. But he's going against good guys at practice every day, so he'll be ready.
Tell me about Nuss, I guess, and maybe just the change in demeanor now that he's, the number one there. Do you see anything different in him, or is he approaching it a little different?
Nuss has, definitely waited his turn, and, I couldn't be more excited for him. He's going to go out there and, light the SEC up. Obviously the offense is different compared to last year. Everyone here knows Nuss isn't going to, bust down the sideline for 90, every 5 plays, but he very well could. But that's just not, like I said, the style's different. But, it's going to be effective, and we're going to get the job done. We're going to score a lot of points.
With the screens that you guys are running, do you feel like physicality is kind of at a premium now?
Physicality will always be a premium here. Coach Sloan told us today we're going to go from inside out. So everything, like I said earlier, starts with us up front. We set the tone for the rest of this team and the offense, and we're going to get the, guys going for sure.
Defensive line is obviously a big question mark to a lot of people heading into the year, but it seems like they're all getting on the same page. And they were saying going up against you guys and the offensive line has kind of helped them. What have you seen from them, of having them get better throughout camp so far?
The defensive line, the players are definitely there. I can go on and on about the guys that are there and, what they're good at and all this. But I think the biggest thing is, just their energy. Their demeanor coming out to practice every day is just so much different from last year in a good way. They come out juiced up, ready to fight, ready to go, and that's what we need. At the end of the day, it's just a fight in the trenches. It is what it is. It's not always going to be pretty. You just got to be ready to go in there and get dirty, and that's what they've been doing, so I'm excited for them.
We saw on day one, BK call y'all guys up, and he did it again today after some bad reps. I guess how much are you noticing him stressing the small details that make the big picture?
Yeah, the details are everything. He preaches that everything's on, the walls in here. The little things are what matters the most. It's what adds up at the end of the day to make the big things or the little things. So whenever you think something doesn't matter, that could be the difference between you losing a rep, especially, with some of these positions, for us. Hand placement, if you have your hand wide, it could be the difference in you giving up a sack or not. So whenever you're, thinking that something doesn't matter, it's usually the things that'll make or break the game for you.
We haven't really talked about the tight ends at all. Just that room is filling out, right? And they've got guys that can be a little bit more versatile than maybe in the past. Are you noticing their involvement more? Are you seeing, obviously more double tight end sets?
Yeah, I think that this is probably the deepest tight end room LSU's probably had in a long time. Just from top to bottom. Guys that can go out there and make the big catch, but they can also come down and help us, block. But like I'm saying, there's so many, different type of athletes in there. From Trey Dez to Mason to Max, Pimp. It's just, like I said earlier, it's one of the deepest tight end rooms I can remember seeing here since I've been a little kid watching.
Everybody kind of knows the year that you're expected to have and the potential for your future. I guess, how did you approach this year going into it knowing that, it's going to be a big year for you?
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to much of the outside noise. I'm worried about these guys in here because, these are the guys who I do it with. And, if we come in here, win a national championship, win a Joe Moore Award, have the best offense in the SEC, the rest of the stuff will take care of itself. But my focus is to, like I said, win a national championship here.
Anybody else standing out that maybe we're not talking about?
On offense or defense?
Anywhere, I don't care. Yeah.
There's a lot of young guys that, will catch your eye. Gabe Relaford, he's one of the hardest workers on this team. He comes in every day with it on his mind. He's ready to go. Caden Durham, I think, is going to be a big back for us this year. Deshaun Spears will be a really good player for us this year. There's a lot of guys I can go on and on about that, but I think that, it's just you'll have to see it for yourself from Vegas because, I couldn't really, pinpoint. But I think there's a lot of guys that, aren't being talked about that could have really big years for us.
What do you like about this team? so far?
The grit, I'd say that the grit and the toughness. You know, this off season, you know, we had probably one of our best off seasons we've had since I've been here, just from a, you know, work standpoint, pushing ourselves, guys pushing each other, competing every day, and you know, everybody here wants to win. I mean, it's year 3. It's time for us to do something instead of just winning 10 games. I mean, 10 games is cool with other schools, not here. 10 games gets people fired, people replaced. So it's time for us to do something a little different and, you know, win a national championship.
There's a soundbite of the day right there from all 4 guys. And just finally, you going into this year and so forth, this collection of guys, how special is this collection of guys up front that you're playing with?
I mean, it's awesome. You know, like I was saying earlier, you don't really find guys, you know, that have played 3 years next to the same person in the SEC. Usually somebody will end up leaving. So it's really a blessing for us, I think, as not just as for us as individuals, but this team, you know, being able to have those guys up front with me and, you know, Emery, Miles, Deli, and, you know, DJ's, I mean, I wouldn't consider him a, you know, new guy. I mean, he's been here, so he knows, you know, what all we do, what it takes, and things like that. But it's a blessing because, you know, whenever you can, you know, take so many reps next to somebody, it's muscle memory now. So I think it's only going to help us.
All right, last one. Yeah, just tell me about the run game. Just seeing John on day 1, pretty explosive. Like, we were kind of surprised at how quick he was. But having the backs that you do, and you mentioned Caden, I mean, but the 3 guys that we know about, like, how much better are they this year and ready to roll?
I mean, they all look great. They all had great off seasons. Josh, Caleb, John. I mean, John is, I mean, everybody knows about John. I'm excited for him. I feel like he's going to have a good year this year. And just coming off last year with the injury and stuff, I'm excited that, you know, he ended up staying with us. And I couldn't be more excited for him. But, yeah, the run game, I mean, like I said earlier, it's a lot more diverse, showing a lot more looks, a lot more different things, just throw defense for more curveballs. I mean, last year we kind of, you know, line up. We were just better than you. It was what it was. You know, you knew what was coming, but you still had to stop it. And quite frankly, nobody could. But, you know, this year we're going to line up and we're going to make you stop us. And they're going to know we're coming right at them. And it's going to be in different ways, but they're going to know we're about to run the ball. And we'll see if they can stop it.